Hey, what's going on YouTube? Today we're watching a Numi clip. This is a video I watched around 2 or 3 minutes of, and then I'm like, oh my gosh, we need to talk about this. Go check her out. She is amazing. I love her music. My #1 artist on Spotify, but we're going to react to this.
Hey, sorry for the serious video here, but I need to talk about some things that have been brought to my attention regarding some of the videos that I've been seeing
Probably
pop up on
turn on
YouTube nowadays.
captions there.
The clipping community, I think, is one of the most important parts of the streaming ecosystem, as many people don't have the time to watch through a whole stream and like to see general highlights and clips of their favorite streamers when they have the time. There are different things that cause a streamer to get more attention, and
Sorry, I was drinking water.
From a few clippers back in the day really helped people find out about me. Yeah, I had my own stuff and my own personality that really helped boost me, but back then, I didn't push on YouTube. And those clippers ended up bringing a lot of really great viewers to my streams that I know are still around in my community today. The fans, while they aren't the streamer, are still a really huge part in the image that's being shown to everybody. They say that the community reflects the streamer, and I would definitely say that's true.
100% agree with this idea that clippers are the foundation and backbone of the VTubing community. I would highly doubt anyone got into VTubers without seeing clips. I don't watch a lot of streams. I watch maybe some. It really depends on the content creator and their idea. There is no one that I tune into all of their streams. Love clippers.
My friends, and
it deserve
everyone
love.
I interact with, and just how I act in general is a really big part in shaping my community. It directly influences them and the way that they act and the way that they deal with other people. But it also goes the same way for the viewers. Oftentimes you learn about a streamer from a friend, a tweet, a TikTok, or in this case, a clip. They're really good clippers that help you learn about the streamer, and then they're the ones that are pretty disrespectful. I've never had a huge...
So that is to say that with clips being a lot of people's way of getting to know the streamer, as she said, and your first impression, it is very, very, very important that as a streamer you set boundaries, and if you're a clipper, you represent the streamer in a way that they want. Because to some extent, it's not your content. Okay? I mean, yes, you are a clipper and somebody who's making a creative work. I'm not going to undermine the effort and creativity of clippers. There are clippers that I subscribe to purely because of how well their edits are. That being said, with clips, you can largely misrepresent any streamer in any way possible. And that is terrible for the streamer's brand. It turns a lot of potential viewers off because you represent their content in a certain way. And it also leads to availability bias. So like if you see a streamer where all their clips are hypersexualized, you're going to be like, okay, this streamer only talks about sex. Or you're going to think like, oh, I can talk about sex anytime, when that might not be the case. It has damages for the content creator.
Huge problem with clips because I've been fortunate enough to have really kind fans and respectful ones that run these accounts and listen to my boundaries and would delete clips or rename things if it was ever getting to a point that would make me feel uncomfortable in any way. But recently, there have been a numerous amount of these channels popping up that have been so incredibly gross to see that it's been putting off not only me, but my community and communities adjacent. These people are doing this by mass producing these extremely misleading clickbaity videos that oftentimes have nothing to do with the actual content being shown. Actually, I would like to say that pretty much every single video that we have seen has been extremely misleading or clickbaity and having nothing to do with the title or the thumbnail at hand. Let me show you what I mean. Here's just an example of one of the accounts that I've been seeing lately. This is one of the channels that I was always making fun of because the titles were so stupid.
Oh my gosh. Oh my. Numi is the nastiest girl ever. Numi's not single anymore, but yeah. Yeah, I definitely think that you should be able to take these down as a streamer. Even the profile picture is her collared. Yeah. Yeah. Um I guess I can speak as like a Numi fan. Um I don't watch a lot of Numi videos as much anymore. I only watch like the videos she produces, but I stopped watching clips because of things like this. I'm going to be 100% honest. I've stopped watching a lot of Numi stuff. The main things that I watch are when she opens up about things, but primarily her music because I really like her music. So seeing things like this to me is just like a little cringy. I think she's really kind and knows how to entertain really well. And I think that this is taking her, I don't want to say out of context, but hyper, like, being hyper specialized on one thing that is not representative of Numi as a whole. I don't want to be like, oh, Numi doesn't say crazy things, but like, this is not how she is all the time.
Stupid and misleading and just completely untrue. Then we saw this one, and then we saw this one, and then we saw this one. This account was brought to my mod's attention via a ticket in our Discord server, and as you can see, the content is very obviously uploaded with the intent to mislead viewers. I understand that.
There might be people pushing back like, oh, well, these clips don't have that many views. Just seeing these and having impressions, like these are just the amount of views. It has nothing to do with impressions. Impressions, you can have like views are like 2% of impressions. So think like 20,000, what is it, like 20,000? I don't know math. Like 20,000 people are seeing these and forming a view of Numi in her head, or in their head, before even watching these. And when you see so many clips with like these titles, you're going to think Numi only talks about relationship stuff. And she doesn't. And it's very frustrating.
A lot of people have a deep interest in a streamer's personal life for some reason, even though me, myself, I'm pretty open about a lot. And despite that, people still want to know more about their sexual stuff or my actual personal relationship, I guess. And because of that, passerbys would go by, see clips like this, and look at these titles and be like, what the hell, and click on them. Because they're clickbaity titles, right? You can agree with that. Just judging by this, you can already tell it's not like any normal clip you would see of a fan that actually likes me and my content. I need a boyfriend. I want to fuck. I like hard sex. Drunk Numi on reason why she will be single forever. Drunk Numi is in need of a man. Drunk Numi's confession about...
I'm sorry, I don't want to laugh, but if you know anything about Numi, like as a fan, you would know that she's known for not having sex. So when it's like, I want hard fuck, you're like, what? Like, even as somebody who doesn't watch as much Numi anymore, I know how misrepresentative of like these are. I don't know. It also diminishes the things that she has done. You know, she's releasing albums every couple of months. She makes amazing songs. She made a lot of indies like keep their careers in a sense. Like her, Bao, Lily, Shoto, they all did so much for the indie community. I don't think you guys understand. This is the best time to be an indie, largely in part due to these people. Because with the whole like corpo situations where we realize, oh, they're companies and they kind of screw their workers over. Like, back in the day, it was like, oh, you just had to be a part of a company if you wanted to be a VTuber. And they proved that you can grow. Uh, like, so many people owe their career or motivation to these people. And when you diminish it into these very clickbaity things, it's sad and annoying, and I hate it.
Hard sex. Numi is trying to fuck Buff so hard. And then you go ahead and you click on one of these videos. You lean into this. I'm really right now. I had 2 buzzballs. White Claw, bro. Immediately, you can tell the
Yeah. This is a content farm.
subtitles are inaccurate in talking about balls, like a man's genitalia, and not the fact that I'm just drinking a buzzball and alcoholic beverage during one of my streams.
Really? Dang. I'm not a drinker, so I don't even, like, that doesn't register with me. And a lot of people on YouTube are probably, you know, high schoolers, early college students. They may not know. So, I don't know, cutting in mid sentence too. Obviously, like, as Numi said, this is so misrepresenting the thing. But what I wanted to talk about was literally the first thing you see is the like, subscribe, bell notification thing. Which I'm not saying that having that stuff, like those call to actions, are bad, but when it literally covers up Numi and you're a clipper, makes me question.
I feel him. My bro. I said, bro. But the subtitles say, I feel him. Numi is really in need of a man.
I'm laughing because, like, holy shit, how crazy. Yeah, that's terrible. A lot of clippers get subtitles wrong, whether it be they're like ESL or they're using some like AI like thing, text to or speech to text thing. But that is egregious. And you're telling me you didn't watch your clip and tell that? Like, you can't mishear that wrongly, in my opinion. It's disgusting.
It's a collab with me, Neuro, and Evil.
So adorable when you're angry.
Oh my god.
Please yell some more.
I don't want to yell.
You know what?
What?
I'm quaking and shaking right now at your anger. Maybe you do have a bit of a fight in you.
So honestly, just by looking at this video for a couple seconds, you know that this does not at all match the title of the video, nor does it match the thumbnail. It's clickbait. Numi is not single anymore, which obviously is not true. Numi goes viral. Her sex on Mountain Truth will shock you.
What the hell? This shit should be illegal. Oh my gosh, this is
sex
terrible.
on a mountain or sex at all, but go off, I guess. You'll notice immediately on these videos that the comments are usually very negative. They're complaining about the fact that these videos do not match the title or the thumbnail. The content doesn't match because it's obviously misleading and it's pissing people off. Posting clickbait is how you get your kneecaps destroyed. These are the comments under the video called Numi is trying to fuck Buff so hard. And of course, that's not at all what I'm talking about in the video. And then you look at the comments, in which part of these whole 4-minute clips does Numi try to fuck Buff Pup? This is such a clickbait. This is so clickbait.
The way that the person liked it, they read
Maybe
that.
learn some English. Maybe she's using speech
She's
recognition
liking
software
these
to generate the caption. It's AI generated crap. So this brings something else to the table here. All of these videos have the same kind of format, a very, very misleading title, a very, very misleading thumbnail, with the top having the same exact layout of text, something extremely erotic, NSFW, just something that you wouldn't or shouldn't be looking at on YouTube. I like hard sex. I want to screw. I want sex. I love balls. you guys are free to clip that if you want, whatever the fuck. Because at least this is something that I'm actually saying. Something that me and my mods and my team have found out is that, yes, a common theme on videos like this, from this channel, this channel, this channel, this channel, and this channel. We realized when we looked at the more button, there's the about page. And you'll find that if you go to the about page on every single one of these channels, even the one with no videos, they all share a similar AI generated description about their profile and their page. It's all
That's so messed up. Oh, you're a terrible person if you're doing this. Like, I don't want to front. This is terrible. You're trying to profit with literally no work and misrepresenting someone this bad. The thing is, you can have the problem isn't that the videos are sexualized. I don't want to go that far. The reason why it's so terrible is because it's misrepresenting someone's brand and having, there is no way this doesn't have at least some negative repercussions for Numi. Whether it be scaring off potential viewers, or even her fans are being like, okay, I have to deal with seeing all these clickbaity things in my recommended because they're talking about Numi and I watch Numi and these are so misrepresentative. It's so bad. And if you do this, genuinely delete your channel. There should be no space on you, on the internet for you. If you want to do this stuff, do it yourself. Get a VTuber model, go to Vroid, get one for free, then do this. You should not misrepresent someone this terribly, have financial repercussions, and profit off them like this. Just terrible person. Oh my gosh.
It's all very similar.
I'm so mad.
This is likely all ran by the same exact person, and the same exact person is using AI-generated stuff to create this content. I mean, look at the
this should be under defamation. This is so terrible. Oh my gosh.
profile picture and the banner. This is AI generated. And then you look and then you see it's the same exact way that they're doing everything because they're probably aware.
I'm not censoring their channel titles and stuff anymore. I don't want people to hate. Don't go sending them death threats or anything. Just be post something in the comments like this is an AI channel.
Of the fact that these new accounts that they're making are likely going to get demonetized
if you're doing
off.
anything.
So they just make a new one. They're making a bunch to capitalize off of this as much as they can. And I know that it's bad enough that they're going after me, but they're also going after my friends like Lucy, like Lily, with completely misleading titles and completely misleading videos that have nothing to do with what's actually being talked about. Content aside, these kind of titles shouldn't even be on YouTube in the first place. How are these allowed? And then you go over and then you look and you sit here wondering to yourself, how is this kind of stuff allowed? Surely YouTube is going to be taking down this kind of content, right? But then you go over and look at one of my friends' accounts and notice that their ASMR account has been taken down.
Unfortunately, Susan, is it still Susan who's the CEO? Anyone who's the CEO of YouTube, just know, thank you for letting me upload on this thing. That being said, YouTube doesn't care. I'm sorry, but it doesn't care about the community guideline strikes and things like that. Those videos are not flagged. You can say because, oh, how do you moderate that? They can probably do it. The reason they don't do that is because very suggestive things like that sell. And they're fine with, potentially showing that stuff to kids. Let's just flat out say it. They're not making this like an 18 plus, they're not flagging that stuff. But with ASMR, they flag it, even though a lot of ASMR, if you don't know, isn't sexual. There are ASMRs that are purely based on that, but there are some where it's just like, oh, comfort you when you're sad, or like helping people with autism or any sensory issues. ASMR has a space on the platform that is not purely for that kind of stuff. But they flag that completely, which they used to do with anime. I still don't know if they do it, but like you could watch the most pure anime ever and they would flag it for 18 plus content. They just don't understand these things. That being said, they clearly they have limits. That being said, there's stuff that is control alt deleting yourself from the world. And that stuff gets flagged, even if it has like a positive, like, keep going anyway. Which I think that stuff should be flagged, because I don't think you should watch that all the time. What I'm saying is, they clearly care about some content being flagged, but not others. When it comes to certain things like control alt deleting yourself, they will flag that without hesitation. But when it comes to things like blatantly sexualized things, they don't care. Unless it's like actual hardcore showing it. But if it's just very suggestive, they're going to push it because it gets more clicks. That's just how it is. It's not about morals. It's not about keeping children or anyone safe. It's about making money. Simply it.
They deny her appeal when all she's doing is ASMR. Just looking down at the comments, you're going to see how upset people are by the clickbait titles. They're going to complain and dislike it, but then you're also going to see a few people assume that I'm the one posting them, or that it's an actual fan posting them.
That's the problem.
It's not only giving off the impression that I'm misleading viewers, but this content in general is just overtly sexual and just untrue. One could argue that because I make offhand dirty comments on my stream, it would make sense for these videos to come up, which I know is a common theme with some of my videos regarding the games I play or the jokes that I make about my favorite anime characters and my lackluster love life. But I digress. There's a difference between that and misleading viewers in such a harmful way with content that would lead viewers to believing something that isn't real.
There is a big difference. I don't know if I can illustrate this well enough, but before I watched Numi, I already had an impression of Numi. So I watched Numi 3 years ago for the first time. And the reason why I watched her was because of her karaoke things. But before that, I already had a bunch of clips similar to this stuff. Obviously not AI generated, but very misleading and very sexualized. Which she points out, she does make certain remarks and certain things. What I think that people who push back by saying that are doing is largely misrepresenting it. And I think, in part, it's because, flat out, I think it's because she's a woman. I'm going to be honest. Like, in my opinion, a lot of the reason why VTubers are popular for some people is because it's women saying things that traditionally they shouldn't. Like, people believe they shouldn't. Which I think they should be able to because of a lot of reasons. Mainly because when I first saw clips of Numi and stuff, I flat out didn't like her. I'm going to be 100% honest. Not because I actually watched her, but because I already had this impression that she was somebody who was engagement baiting with talking about these sexualized things. Or like, since I grew up in a smaller area, I was like, women shouldn't talk about this. I don't think men should have talked about this, but I was more lenient, I guess. And that was just because of where I was raised. after actually watching Numi videos, I realized, oh, she has a lot of like really funny things that she does and really knows how to interact with her community. She tells amazing stories, is an amazing storyteller, very kind, and she so happens to say things that are lewd. That's not her whole personality in clips. And honestly, I think it's good for the internet, for women, especially VTubers, to talk about this. Because it helped open my worldview of women are just unfairly treated when it comes to this kind of stuff. And you can see it in other communities as well. When it comes to like femboys, they are very sexualized like this. I could do a whole video talking about femboys problems where this is like a common theme. And for males, if you look at popular male VTubers, it is very hard to find one that is not shipped with another man. Because people like this weird thing of like sexualizing them. They forget that they're humans, and or they just don't care. And it's weird. K9 Hero talks about this so much, and I'm so happy that he voices his disdain for these kinds of shipping things. Because it's like Bao, shylily, Numi, I can't sit here and say that they don't talk about sexualized things. However, I can say that I think that dismissing them as purely lewdtubers or saying that stuff like that has no benefits for being online is too far of a jump and very dismissive. On the other hand, I will say, because they do that stuff, things like this will happen. They shouldn't, but they will. And there are going to be people in the audience purely watching for this kind of things. And they need help. It's just a fact. Do they deserve it? No. But this is... It really makes me mad that this is happening, because it does make it so a lot of people already have this view of Numi, Bao, and shylily, and they don't realize how amazing these people are. Really reductive.
Even if people feel a certain way about me, when these videos become more popular, these accounts realize that they can profit off of these kinds of videos and just do the same exact thing, but with other streamers and other YouTubers and other VTubers. And this stuff is just gonna get worse and worse. And unfortunately, we put on the algorithm and deter viewers from looking at actual content of me or other streamers and build up this perception that this is how we are, when that's never really the case at all. It's also really interesting to know how these titles even slide in the first place. People can argue this and that or whatever on YouTube, but on my streams on Twitch, they're set to 18 and up because I'm aware of how bad my potty mouth is or how dirty my jokes can be. I'm so fortunate with my community that most of them can look at...
And that's so telling of this situation, where Numi understands that her content isn't for everyone. But it's not purely based around that fact. It's just, this is something that she talks about and feels comfortable talking about, and some people shouldn't hear about this stuff and aren't comfortable talking about it. But for the Clippers, it's like, oh, this makes money.
Look at these videos and know that this isn't true because
it's so predatory.
But then there are going to be these people that want to get to know me or want to get to know some other streamer that's getting put on the spot like this and get the wrong impression of them. And it kind of sucks. It really sucks. I have an audience that's well aware of me and my personality so that it won't affect me as severely as it could affect other channels that likely depend on clips to be known out there. They don't have as much reach. And it sucks. It sucks that that's a thing. And it sucks that these channels are coming up. And I really just wanted to make this video to just showcase how silly these videos are and these channels are. These stupid AI generated channels made by these people who can lie about being a fan to hide their true intent of wanting to profit and monetize off of these poor viewers who have no idea about their streamer that they're watching. And like I said, I'm really lucky because I know that I have my own content. I have a bunch of channels that even if they don't get as many views or this or that, I know that it's reaching my audience and they're getting to know me and know that, yeah, I'm silly. I make dirty jokes sometimes. I'm goofy. I'm a girl failure, but I'm also somebody who does other things. And I know that's the case with so many other people that are streaming. And people could say like, oh, you deserve this, you deserve that. But you would hate if people would make up all of this fake shit about you too. It's not a matter of this or that. It's a matter of what's real and what isn't. If you're gonna do a clickbaity gooner title, shouldn't it actually be a real fucking gooner thing? Jesus Christ, what if you're gonna
Like, it's not even related to the video. That's the thing. It shows that their intent is just to profit. Because you can make those kinds of videos with the things that Numi says. Like, how do you fail that? You know? It's like, this is just,
do something like that, do it like my Azure Lane video with a big feed in the background. I don't know, man. I don't know. But I just hope that making a video like this will help bring to light how fucked up these channels can be. And if you do see these channels, to try your best to report them and get rid of them. I'm hoping that by making a video like this, we can all kind of band together, every kind of community of somebody that's been affected by this, that we can all come together and we can mass report these accounts. You can bring up a menu and you can report the image or the title. You can report it for sexual content or spam or misleading content. And then hopefully, if enough of us band together with this, we can try our best to take down these.
If you see these clips, one, make sure that they are like this, where it's very misrepresentative and damaging to them. Don't like accidentally report someone who's just a clip channel that, you know, is just doing their thing. 2, don't like dislike or comment. It gives engagement. If you see these, report them or like click on the 3 lines and put not interested. Because then that way YouTube's not going to show these as much to other people. This is terrible.
And hopefully help make the VTubing,
I think this is the end of the video.
Just a little bit more bearable. And I'm really sorry that I had to make something like this, but I think complaining about it on streams isn't gonna do any good because those aren't the things that are gonna get clipped anyway. And I guess the best way to go about it is to just.
I'm gonna pause there. Go check out Numi. I'm not subscribed to her on my main. I'm watching this on my main channel. But go watch Numi. There's other times where clippers have stepped too far. Early days of like Takamori, where Takanashi Kiara was very misrepresented in the community by clippers. I remember back when I used to watch Niji creators before the whole thing. And at Alouette talked about how, you know, clippers would just clip when she said crazy things and not like when she says deep things. That's just how clips are. I don't know. There are really, really good clippers, and go support them. But be aware of these kinds of clippers is all I'm going to say. I could talk about femboy stuff in the future if you want me to. Go support Numi, Bao, Shylily, all of them. Thank you so much, Numi, for bringing this up because this needs more attention. Have a good one. Thanks for watching.